Peter Williams is a contributing author to Policing Terrorism. He joins us now from Liverpool. Good to speak to you. So are we seeing a new face of global terrorism?
Well, it's difficult to say if it's a new phase of global terrorism. I'd certainly say it's a new tactic in relation to how terrorist attacks are being perpetrated at the moment. So much so that there was a recent interview with the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, recently appointed, of course, Cressida Dick, and she referred to this method of operation as what we're seeing now as low-tech type terrorist attacks. And I would certainly agree with her analysis on that point, and particularly the analysis you've just provided for the viewers, stretching back to the attack last July in Nice and sequentially going through each event, culminating what's happened recently, in London. And it does appear that this does seem to be a favoured tactic currently, which the security services and other protection methods anti-terror seem very difficult to counter at the moment.
Peter, as you mentioned, as we look at the attacks, they're small scale as to the major 9/11 style attack, which probably took a long time of planning and communication. So are small scale attacks harder to detect and stop when compared to the big attacks?
Sorry, I missed the last part of your question there. Did you say the small scale attack is what?
Harder to detect and stop?
Well, it would have. I think there is some possibility that is the case in relation to the security services and the police being able to prevent them before they occur, which links very much to what I have constantly made the point on TRT World to your viewers, and that is the role of intelligence. Any terrorist attack, whether it's it will be years in the planning, like 9/11 clearly was, whether it's one of these what the Commissioner's calling low-tech attacks, can only be defeated by the use of effective and intelligence. Now, I'm slightly concerned at the moment in the United Kingdom as to what is happening in relation to, I'm sure, which your viewers and yourselves will be aware, this debate that's taking place at government level and criticism the government's receiving in relation to cuts to the police, particularly in the neighbourhood, police on the ground, if you like. Now, there is certainly potentially, I would say, a vacuum of intelligence that is created by seeing less police officers on day-to-day duties, making important contacts and integrating with all sections of the community. Now, I do feel that is a key issue, and it's one which we need to address, because the way to defeat these attacks, whether it's a low-tech attack, which the commissioners call them, or whether it's something which has been years in the planning, is by intelligence. But overall, I do take
as you're saying, when methods of attacks change, actually methods of security have to change with it. So, these attackers are referred to as lone wolves. How can you describe them, and where are they influenced from if they're lone attackers and not part of a terror group?
Well, the definition of a lone wolf is somebody who's acting completely uniquely and alone, but has sympathy with the cause, if you like, of a particular organisation. Now, whether or not these latest attacks, as far as we know, because we certainly don't know the full information in respect of the attacks in the United Kingdom, either from Westminster Bridge, London Bridge, Manchester, or this latest incident of Finsbury Park Mosque. We don't know the full details of that, whether there's been a support network or not. In the case of Manchester, it clearly looks like there probably was one which was in place. But a lone wolf attack is an individual acting alone on their own initiative, without, to some extent, the knowledge of the organisation to whom their particular goals or their interests they have sympathies towards. It's a phrase which is often bandied about, but I think it is often applied quite incorrectly. But a lone wolf definition is somebody who is just basically acted alone. What I would say in most terrorist attacks, 99.9%, there has to be a degree of planning, there has to be a degree of finance, and with that, that equals a support network. So it's very, very unusual in respect to for something to be a lone wolf type attack.
So could they be inspiring other violent individuals as we see the increase in the attacks and they keep watching? So is this a copycat issue there?
Well, I'm not so sure if it's a copycat issue, but I would make the point most strongly, and I'm sure your viewers again would appreciate what I'm going to say in relation to this. If we take the attacks that are that ISIS have claimed responsibility for, there is no doubt whatsoever that their social media propaganda, the way that they use the internet, social media, etc., and their ability to reach the audience, yes, the target audience
Peter,
that they want is
impressive. Very much. That's all the time we have here. Peter Williams, the contributing author to Policing Terrorism. He joined us from Liverpool there.